Hi everyone, welcome back to Stretch Your Sketch with Missy Whidden and me. This is week 3, and this week we're still using the same sketch, and we're resizing this week. However you want to do that. I decided to do an 8.5 by 11. You could resize by still doing 12 by 12, but kind of shrinking the design of the sketch if you wanted to do that. I'm working with the new Saturday's collection, or Saturday, there is no S on the end, Saturday collection from Dear Lizzie. And I decided I wanted to do a pie chart look with the circles from the sketch, and the photo that I was scrapbooking is a huge pizza that we got for dinner one night, and so I thought the little pie kind of chart cut look would be cute with the photo. So I just used my 2-inch punch and punched some circles from the pattern paper. I wish I would have had a 6x6 paper pad for this, but I did not. So you could see that the papers I used for this were some that I had already cut. So if I'm using a punch for something like that, I always like to make sure it's a pattern paper that I may have already used for something, so I'm not just punching into a full 12 by 12 sheet that hasn't already been used. So once I punch those, you can see I just cut each one into fourths, and then I'm going back and putting them together on the layout and just mixing up the different pattern papers, and I'm trying to figure out placement just by looking at the sketch, looking back and forth. Because these circles are all the same size, I didn't vary the sizes, so I'm still trying to create the same effect on the sketch. And you can tell that the circles on the sketch are varying sizes. Some are bigger, some are smaller. But since I was doing a little bit smaller paper for this one, I wanted them to all be the same. And so you can see I finished that up. I just did a few there so you could see. And once I got those on and had them in place, I did some machine stitching off camera. And now I'm adding the title, and the title is going to be a piece of the pie, and I'm using some Ellie's Studio little black letter stickers. I didn't want to use the Dear Lizzie thickers that came with this collection because they were pretty big, and since I was doing a long title on a smaller background paper, I decided to go with these instead, and they're black, so they're neutral, and they worked with the collection anyway. So like I said, you could resize however you wanted to. I wanted to give the 8.5 by 11 a try. I do that maybe a 8.5 by 11 layout maybe 3 times a year. It just depends on what I'm doing and if there's a reason that I'm doing it. I just normally don't scrap that size. I do find it difficult. I think it's because of the letter size of the paper. It's not a square, it's a rectangle, so it just makes it harder for me to work with. But I really like the end result of this one and the way it came out, and having the sketch helped too, because it wasn't just sitting down and trying to create a design on my own. I had the sketch to go by. And so now you can see I'm embellishing some of the circles. I didn't technically keep the embellishments from the sketch going the same way this time. I just kind of put them wherever I felt like it. And I wanted to fill in some space there by the title, so I added some chipboard from the Dear Lizzie collection, and just kind of looking back and forth to see what I want to put on there. I like this collection. It's really versatile. It worked well with this. Just a food photo, and I've also done a couple of back to school layouts with it also, so it's really versatile. It's great for every day and can kind of also be translated to some themes too, so it's a really fun collection. And I got it from Paper Issues because that's my go-to shop when I'm shopping for new products. And so I'm just looking through, seeing if there are any. These clear stickers are fun. I really like these, that they're in black. They're neutral, so they go kind of with everything. So I just wanted to space some of those out, kind of just creating that diagonal from the sketch with the circles and the embellishments. And since I had all this white space, I decided I would use some of the manufacturer strips here at the bottom and at the top, just to kind of create another diagonal on the page, because I'm going to put these down here on the right hand side and some others up on the left hand side of the page, so I can just kind of layer in these over one another. I cut some just the manufacturer strip itself, and then I cut some just a little above the manufacturer strip, just to get 2 different variations of color on that one strip. And so now I'm doing the one at the top. So I just wanted to have something to kind of fill in that white space and balance it out on the layout. And I love Michelle Wordit. She does really cute 8.5 by 11 pages, and she uses a lot of the little strips of paper on her layouts. So I thought that would be fun to add some and then add the stitching there just to give some texture and fill in that white space. And then these are cute. I like having papers that give you opportunities for fussy cutting, and these were really cute little banners. And then the hearts over there, I'm going to cut just a couple of these to also add to the layout. It kind of gives you like free embellishments. If you have the pattern paper that has something like this on it, you can cut it out and just make some embellishments of your own to go on the layout. And I wanted some dimensions, so I'm adding some pop dots to this second one here. And then I'm going to cut one of the little hearts. I was trying to decide which color I wanted, just kind of balancing out the colors. And I'm going to add it up there on the top left hand side, so I wanted a little bit more teal color up there, so that's where I decided to put it. And like I said, I really like the way this one turned out. It's probably one of my favorite 8.5 by 11 layouts that I've ever done. So I'm looking to add one more little sticker here, and pretty much finishing up this layout for this week. I think I do add some color shine too at the end. I wanted a little bit of sprinkling of black across the page. I always like the contrast that adds, and I make sure I cover my photo so I don't get ink on it when I'm doing that, because I usually get it everywhere else. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video. You can visit Missy's channel to see her video. The link is in the comments. If you're playing along, I also did the date. I like to have my photo or my phone to get the dates for the photo, so that's what I was doing there, so I could add that. But if you're playing along and you use the sketch or the cut files, we'd love to see it. So use the hashtag #StretchYourSketch, and you can also tag me and Missy, and we'd love to see what you're creating. So thanks for joining me this week. See you next time.